I kept this one for last then because this is a current struggle that's going on. Can I have Grant Parfitt from PCS, please?
From PCS, I work in the National Museum of Wales. Thanks very much for having us up here. I'd like to give a brief of what our members do. People have talked today about what happened in Merthyr, the Merthyr Rising. Well, in the branch where I work, we have the Reader Car Cottages, which is just down the road there, from there originally. So we are there 7 days a week, telling people from all over the world about what happened in Merthyr. My colleagues over there are miners. Who are in the miner strike. They're working in another branch, and they are there educating people throughout the world, saying about what's happened. Now we have in Wales an incredible tradition of trade unionism, and what we are fighting for now is our weekend working allowance. Now most of our members only earn £15,000 a year, and our management in their infinite wisdom have decided now to try and get rid of our weekend working allowance, which equates to almost 15% of our members' wages, which equates to basically their mortgage payments every year. It's an obscene thing, and what the management have done is bully us, continually bully us, threatening us with all sorts of things of how they were going to try and enforce this on us. We are now coming up on our 40th day of indefinite industrial action. It's not quite as big as what happened in 84 with the miners, but if it's got to be, it will be. Our members work weekends. There's a lot of people in the public sector who work weekends, and the weekend recognition is something that's important. You know, we got guys working 47 Saturdays a year, 5 out of 7 weekends. Now, I work weekends. And I got to say, I go to work on a Saturday and my little 4-year-old girl is on the stairs saying, "Daddy, can you stay and play with me today? Can we play Happy Land?" And I say, "Look, love, Daddy's going to work because he's getting extra money to help pay Father Christmas so you can have a nice Christmas present." But I'll tell you this, if the museum did manage to succeed to take those premiums, those weekend working allowances off us, I tell you what Daddy would be doing. Daddy would be staying home and playing Happy. Yeah. I would be work. We've got our members here. There's a pile of them there, you can see them, but we can't really miss them, to be honest. To be fair. And each and every one of these guys, you know, we're only a branch of 200, 250 members. We have been in dispute for over 2.5 years. It's the longest running dispute since the formation of the Welsh Assembly. It's one of the longest disputes being run in Wales ever. And I am immensely privileged to be part of that. When you've got management saying to our members, "You accept this deal, where we are going to cut 15% of your wages, or we will sack you and re-engage you under worse terms and conditions." In other words, you've got no choice. Well, I'll tell you something, we have got a choice. Because we've come out now on this indefinite industrial action. We have got tremendous support from all the unions, from the public, even from the government now. And it just shows you, a small group of people, what we can achieve. Now, our Director General, in one of his wonderful meetings where he tells the staff how such a wonderful guy he is, and "Oh yes, I've been to Patagonia and I've been promoting the museum, bearing in mind this Patagonian trip is all expenses paid." That he goes there and he even claims for his Mars bars, believe it or not, that he was there and "Oh yes, I was a minor celebrity and I'm promoting the museum on my all expenses trip paid. By the way, I'm only on £100,000 a year and I haven't had a pay rise in 4 years." Now, my heart's bleeding for him, you know? I feel really sorry for the guy. So what we decided to do as a branch is, we've got a hardship fund for our strikers. We've got a strike fund. And what we decided to do for our Director General, who hasn't had a pay rise in 4 years, what we'll do, all the buttons, washers and foreign coins that we get, we give to him. It's the least we can do, you know? Fair play, right? Because when he's got all the foreign coins, he can spend them when he's travelling all over the world on his expensive trip. Now, we all laugh about that, but we made a Freedom of Information Act about the director's expenses. His taxi bill last year was more than a majority of our members' annual wages. His taxi bill was £17,500. Now, when you look at that, you just think, hang on a minute, that's an annual wage for someone. Now, people come to the museum, and they come to see all these guys that are sat there with all the information, with the knowledge of Welsh history and art. We've got craftsmen, we've got weavers, we've got slate splitters, we've got all these craftsmen that we go there. People come from all over the world and see these guys working, and they get educated by these guys. Nobody goes to the museum and says, oh, we had a wonderful time because the Director General had 4 meetings that day. Or the Director General had 3 meetings that day. Or in fact that he's all over the world. No, they come to see these guys. The ex-miners, the craftsmen, the youngsters who believe in our history and are passionate about our history and are passionate to educate people about our history throughout all the world. And when then our members are bullied, we stood up to the museum. We stood up to them in dispute for 2.5 years. They came then and they said, right, we managed to get ACAS involved. They came up with a deal which was a 2.5-year equivalent of our premiums or our weekend working allowance, which you may think is quite a lot. But in the long run, for someone my age, by the time I retire, I would have lost £56,000, which is quite a bit of money to lose. Granted, it's only half the director's annual salary, but for me, it's a lot of money. And then they said, okay then, what we will do, we'll give you that 2.5 years, we will give you, by the 8th of January, your figures exactly on how much that buyout will be, and we will have a look at a reduction of weekend working. That was the ACAS agreement. 2 days after that was released, and we told our members, an email was sent out saying that if you don't agree to this, we're going to take the 2.5 years off the table. We're only going to take it at 2 years. You won't have a reduction of weekend working. We're going to make it worse for you. So they tried to blackmail us into accepting this deal. But we balloted it. And we rejected it. Now the museum said, oh no, you didn't ballot. No, we didn't ballot in the way they wanted us to ballot. It's our union, we balloted the way we wanted to ballot. They're going around saying, oh no, PCS, they're a horrible bunch, we come up with an agreement and they broke the ACAS agreement. Well, they contravened the ACAS agreement with an email they sent out 2 days later. Then they said, oh, everybody would have their buyout figures by the 8th of January. Nobody had them by the 8th of January. Some people didn't get until the middle of February. And mine was out. There were numerous people whose buyouts were actually the wrong figures. So they broke the ACAS agreement there. Then they said, oh, we'd arrange meetings now where we can have a look at a reduction of weekend working. Those meetings never materialised. So they broke the ACAS agreement there. So what they tried to do then, because we stood up to them, and we're still standing up to them, is they said, right, if you don't accept this, we're going to go down the road of individual consultation. And what that means, you get taken into a room with the managers, and if you're not a member of a union, you go in on your own, and you can go in, you could go in with your rep, but your rep wasn't allowed to speak. If the rep wanted to say something, they had to speak to the member, and then the member had to say it. So they were trying to keep us quiet. Now they tried to bully us. Now, some of our members, single parent families, vulnerable, they were in tears, some of them, and the meetings had to be adjourned while they were taken out and calmed down. And the museum carried on then, saying, no, this is all you're going to have. You're going to like it or lump it. And they thought, as they'd use these bullying tactics, what would happen? That people would sign out of fear. Guess what? Very few people actually signed. So they had a shock. And then, just after that, we decided, tell you what, let's take an indefinite strike. Let's see what happens then. Well, they've had a smack in the chops now. Because like I said, we're coming up on our 40th day. And they still can't make a decision on whether or not they're going to give us a nice agreement or something that we can deal with. We've got Welsh Government on our side. Now, there has been discussions about that, but we can't go into the information that's been said about that. But it was there. And the museum have been told, here we are, this is what we've come up with. And guess what? They're still wasting time. We spoke to Welsh Government 2.5 weeks ago, nearly 3 weeks ago. This was put to the museum and we're still waiting. Mine. I'm happy to wait as long as it was. What they want. Because our members, we've got a strike fund, we're managing to pay our members, and I tell you one thing we're all getting a nice strike time. And if you look at the pictures from the start of the dispute to now, you can see everybody changing colour. It's great. But it also shows, right? One of my concerns was when we decided to take industrial action was after a week or so, the picket lines would falter and people would lose faith. But guess what? They haven't. They've got stronger. The picket lines are running ourselves. We've got members here now, we've got reps here, but the picket lines are still going on. We've had members going all over the country. We've had people going to London, Scotland. We've had Derby, Bristol, everywhere, Birmingham. People are going there to promote what we are doing. Now, people have said, this is the museum's dispute. But I'll tell you, it's not. This is our dispute. Everybody in this room dispute, this is. Because when we win, and I am determined to win, and I know we will win, people can look at us and go, hang on a minute, they were only 250 members, yet they've turned everything around. We can inspire other people. Our dispute, like I said, we're only a small branch of a union. But we've got the government involved, we've held the museum off for 2.5 years. Now, if you're only a small branch, bigger branches can do the same. And let's look at us all now. This is everybody's dispute. I've been around various places talking to other unions, and the support you get is phenomenal. And it's not just the support you get, you realise that a lot of the people in other unions are suffering the same as we are. So what we need to do is not be different unions, but be a collective. When you're a collective, you can make a difference. If we all get together and say at some point in the near future, I tell you what, end of August, every single union, we're all out on strike. Then we make an even bigger difference. Because we've got the unions, the museum strike going on, UCU have been on strike, there have been other strikes going on right throughout the country, the bakers are on strike. Let's get together. We're all fighting for the same thing. We're all fighting against a management and a government that don't give us stuff about their workers. They don't care about us. I tell you something now. One of our members was assaulted by a member of public. And the museum had that member arrested and taken down to the police station under caution. Even the police were questioning the museum. Why have you had this girl arrested, this person arrested? They did nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong at all. They looked at the CCTV footage and the police officer said, no, this person wasn't aggressive at all, it was an unprovoked attack. One of our directors turned around to the police officer and said, well, what type of experience have you got to make that decision? And he was like 25 years police service. Do I need any more? But this is the type of management that we're fighting. This is the type of management throughout the country that people are fighting. They don't care. They don't give a stuff about any of us. And what you've got to realise is, we're a union. And we can fight. We can stand up to these people. And what management don't realise, but our union realises, the reps, to full-time union reps, the general secretaries of all the unions, is the strength of the union comes from its members. It's just a shame management doesn't realise the strength of its work comes from its bloody workforce. We are the ones that make a difference. We are the ones that stand on the front line and deal with the public. Doctors, firemen, everybody that deal with the public sector. We can make a difference. So let us unite. Let us be strong. Take our dispute as inspiration and realise you can win. Because I'm telling you, we are going to win. When we win, Daddy will be going to work on Saturdays and Sundays to pay for his daughter's Christmas presents. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really have got to thank you for coming out. This is the first time we've done anything like this in Merthyr. I had a union march and rally when we weren't on strike up here ourselves. So, real big thank you to everyone, and especially people who have travelled from away. I'm really proud that you've all turned up and showed your solidarity today. Thanks very much.
So me and Max, we're very proud of that. My name's Jenkins and I'm one of the organisers. Some people call me the instigator of the Merthyr Festival. Just want to say how much it means to us to have the relationship that we have with the unions, our brothers and sisters and comrades in the unions. I was brought up in a family where my grandfather was an active member of the NUM. My father then was a member of NAPOL, and my mother was a member of Unison, and I'm a member of Unite. So it's there all over my family. I'm a Merthyr boy, and that's how it is here, and always will be there more. But this festival wouldn't have been possible without the support of the unions, without the support of our major sponsor, Unison, without the support of Unite, GMB, and the RNT, this simply wouldn't have happened. So we want to carry on this fantastic relationship that we've got, and to make this something which is basically like a Welsh cold puddle. We want to come here every year, celebrate solidarity, celebrate the things that we've achieved, and highlight the things that we're fighting. We want people to know about their past, but look to their future and fight for that. I hope you have a wonderful time for the rest of the day. We've got the EU debate, because I don't know if you heard, there's a referendum. We've got that debate coming up, so I can give everybody, I hope you're all coming back for it, and give everybody a sort of 5-minute comfort break for a fag or anything else you want to do. And then if we could please, we'll make our way back in, and hopefully we'll have a wonderful debate on that. Okay, so thank you very much, sisters and brothers.